Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Corporate Coffee, powered by Funworks Media, a very small, fiery podcast where we'll be inviting different professionals from different industries, from different sectors. And the unique point of this podcast is it's not going to be an hour long. It is something you can watch anywhere, anytime, in a very bite-sized formation because it's only going to be like between 15 to 20 minutes. It's one question that we'll be asking these professionals, very raw, unfiltered. The questions are not given to them. That is my surety. So everything that is going to be asked is going to be completely from my discussion. My name is Saman Mazhar. I am a consultant at Funworks Global, and I'm not a journalist. And I would like to welcome Farhan Bashir from Engro Corp, Managing Business Partner for HR. Thank you, Farhan, for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you for taking out the time. You guys are very busy, huh?
Well, that's how the corporate.
That's how the corporate is. So that one fiery question I want to ask you, but you have to be absolutely candid, and you have to be.
I'll try my level best.
Rest assured, it's not going to be that's going to be a risky for any kind of the position you're in. But people like you, who I've seen over the years, work very dedicatedly, work very professionally, go over and beyond for your clients, for your stakeholders, be it internal, be it external. I want to know, how do you break the corporate cycle of a burnout? How do you guys manage that? Because whenever we call, you guys are in meetings, you are here, till 7, 8, 9, 10, be it whatever project you guys are working on. How do you want to break it?
Seems like you're avenging me for being MIA most of the time.
Yes, I am. And this is the only way I could have caught you. But yeah, you have to tell me about this.
Fair enough. So let's first try and understand what burnout is about, and whether it is associated to a point in your career, to any particular generation or age group, and whether it's normal to feel that overwhelming feeling of burnout, right? So when we talk about burnout, it's basically physically, emotionally being exhausted, right? And the first thing that I want to make very clear and transparent, it's not a disease, A.
Yeah.
And B, it doesn't make you a weak individual of any sort, right? Whether you're a male or a female, unfortunately, referring to our last week's conversation, it's all about establishing the norms correctly and understanding the norms correctly.
Okay.
We are from that part of the world where we say certain things that, even if you're feeling something, you're not supposed to voice it out, right?
Yeah.
So
with a risk, because it's a risk, right?
Yeah, there is a risk because we have established it that way. You only lie when there is no provisioning for telling the truth. Right?
Yes,
that's a phenomenon.
Absolutely.
And I can clearly remember that if I were to talk about my first job, I was going through burnout like crazy. It was pretty much there, but would never voice it out because I was coming from a family where, it was all about being resilient, being in the, whatever you're doing, just stick to it. So while I was experiencing physical burnout in the sense that I would come and sit on a chair, right, 9 in the morning, have my lunch there only, and then 6:30 when we used to leave, the next day I would get a call from my manager that, what sort of a party culture is this? You're leaving at 6:30. While your own organization is providing me the transportation, which is leaving at 6, but I'm not supposed to catch that. So this dichotomy has been there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say hypocrisy, but I mean, why?
I like about differences.
So that sort of a mindset has always been there.
Yeah.
And the problem is, it's not just to do with a particular phase of life or any age group or any gender. So if I were to quote Forbes in 2025, has done a research and has found out that people aged between 18 to 24, 88% of them are experiencing burnout, right? And this is per se in our culture, this is going to be a management trainee or a fresh professional.
Yeah.
And I've seen many people in my organization as well experiencing this phenomena, even in the early age. And our expectation mostly is that, you are fresh, you are supposed to burn the midnight oil.
Yes, to make a mark. But this is only not applicable to people who have a permanent job. This is applicable to even kids who are doing internships. I know somebody, she cannot leave before 6:30 because it will not do well if she gets a permanent position at that specific organization. So then it is like the expectations are you have to sit. While the world is saying something else, you want to quote that but not practice it.
Correct.
Right? And then you're saying, you are always sick, you don't come on time, It could be so many different phrases that we use for each other and not admitting what's actually the cause of that burnout.
True.
We are still applying it, and then say, oh no, we are a very open culture. We are, we give flexible hours, but is that true?
So the challenge is, like you mentioned, so every time you try to leave the office on time, 5:30, 6 p.m., and you get to hear, oh, half day today.
People watching this will know exactly why I'm laughing like this.
And then if you are working from home someday, the next day, the thing that you get to hear is, oh,
yeah,
yesterday you were taken an off.
Yes.
Or you were partying.
Yeah.
So.
Or you're weak.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not fit for the role.
And
all of a sudden becomes personality. It does. And it's not being admitting why is that person facing it, right?
Yes, exactly. And the second thing is, so the good thing about burnout is it doesn't happen overnight. So there are symptoms, there are causes, there are signals. Your body is alarming you every now and then.
Yeah.
That, okay, you are heading towards it.
Yeah.
Which means someday I'm getting up and I don't feel like going to work. While I'm working very hard, still I'm not able to find that meaning in my work, and therefore that dopamine effect is missing, right? There are days when I'm experiencing cervical pain or back pain, but I'm not taking an off. It has come down to that level whereby unless you don't have 102 fever or 104 fever, you just want to show up.
Yeah.
Why? Because the expectation is such, right? There are annual leaves being offered by every organization, say 2020. Whoever is kind of breaking it down and planning it and taking it religiously often gets to hear, oh, that person is hardly ever there in the office.
How do you break it? You being in HR for how many years, Farhan?
It's been 12 years.
12 years. How do you see for the upcoming generation, which is Gen Z?
Yeah.
They're not going to take this.
Yeah.
How do you break this? It's not a one-person job, I know, but at least it can have a domino effect, right?
Correct.
What strategies do you want to tell us that can help them to not face this and go down into that?
So to the new entrants, I think one thing that we need to kind of clearly demarcate is there is life and work is a part of it, right? The challenge that my generation has faced, and a lot of us senior ones, the predecessors, they would always make work all about them. Work would be the major, bigger goal, and then life is fit. No, it's not like that. You can't alter your 5 to 9 for 9 to 5. That's the challenge. And I have seen, like, one of my very senior colleagues, when he retired, he had actually put up a status on LinkedIn saying that corporates should facilitate this transition or journey of retirement, because all of a sudden it seemed like he had nothing to do. The corporate connections, the corporate life, everything kind of ends when you touch that mark of 60.
Yeah.
So that challenge is there. And I would just advise the people who are coming into the workforce to have a life outside of work.
Yeah.
It's not just about if you're working from 9 to 6, 9 to 5, and then you're sitting with the same people outside as well, and your day ends, seeing them in the morning and
seeing them in the evening, and offline and online content.
Yeah, correct. And so, which reminds me of another thing. So with remote working and all that coming in, while we are very actively managing our workload and stuff, but the expectation to be 24/7 available. So it's rising, right?
Yeah.
And I remember it was either Google or Apple who at one point in time had established this, that submit your devices before you leave.
I think it was Google.
Right.
I think so.
So that's a beautiful concept of, facilitating the individual to kind of manage their work-life balance.
Yeah.
Which is not happening in our world today.
Because of that concept, many restaurants also, internationally and locally, they have that mobile box.
Yes.
So if you submit, just put your phone there, you're there to address the person, right? So, and another thing, when you're addressing the person, you at least get to know him beyond him or her, beyond that context of work.
Yeah.
And secondly, when you touch 60, right? Like when you were telling me after 60, everything ends and, the corporate cycle ends. That's, instead of thinking, what am I going to do after 60?
Yeah.
I think one can pre-plan it. What am I going to do after 60? Everything cannot be the organization's fault, right? Some things you have to take credibility. Like, they say, just because you had a bad upbringing or you had, a very difficult childhood. You cannot blame your parents for the rest of your life.
Correct.
You have to break through.
True.
So
Right.
those breakthroughs have to happen on their own, but at the risk of what? Of their jobs.
So the thing is, again, another example that stemmed into my mind, somebody who has just transitioned from organization A to B, and there's a joining announcement that comes out, usually asks you about your interests and hobbies.
Yeah.
And this person is messaging me all of a sudden asking, what are my hobbies? Because, well, the organization kept you engaged from 9 to 9, 9 to 10. People have stopped exploring. And that's what I mean when I say that, don't make this work life the entire life of yours.
Yeah.
You need to, the basic that we expect is, if I ask you, someone, what do you enjoy doing?
Walking.
Exactly.
Walking.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You might not have a very certain answer to
it. Doesn't have to be very intellectual. It is something that I enjoy, right? I can enjoy with a 4-year-old.
Correct.
That is my, deep, that is me getting relief from adult.
True. Very
right? So 4-year-olds, they come up with the, these 4-year-olds, bestest answer. They're very witty and you get to learn a lot from them. Then, sometimes you want to just be on your own to reset your focus so that you reset and you refocus and then you see the problem.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be in that spiral, it's not gonna help you.
Correct.
As a consultant, when I see and people say, we want operational excellence, we want interpersonal skills, and when you talk about we want them to go through the leadership journey, it starts from self. If the first 20 minutes you are struggling, or first, forget 20 minutes, the first 3 minutes that I put you down pen to paper and say, what are your hobbies? And you can't move your pen, that's your first reflection.
True. That means you're not exploring.
Yeah.
Exploring yourself only.
At least you need
exploring other aspects.
Absolutely.
So I think that's very important. People should focus on the fact that, what do I like doing outside of work, and then make space for it in my 24-hour circle.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing that you need to do. The second is, by virtue of being raised in the culture that we've been raised, the challenge is that we have been asked to not raise questions. We come from that colonial mindset or era whereby saying yes is the only option.
Yeah.
So we are not building boundaries, and I want to recommend, there's a book by Rhonda Byrne, Boundaries on Boundaries, Setting Boundaries.
Okay.
And it starts off by saying, set boundaries to set yourself free. Now, freedom and boundaries never go hand in hand.
Never.
Our understanding is, freedom is all about breaking the shackles, breaking boundaries and being free. But now is the era where you need to set boundaries to bring freedom and
Will it be well accepted?
Setting boundaries?
Yeah. At work?
So the thing is,
since we come from that colonial mindset and, we are, having those condescending dialogues that we pass on to each other. Oh, you had a half day. Oh, so you left so early yesterday, or today, you're leaving at 6 or you left at 6. And when you set that boundary, it's not going to be well received.
It's not going to be well received.
But
not talking about it is never going to change things.
Yes.
Because mostly the leadership bench or the management or the top leadership is always consisting of a generation above yours, right?
Yeah.
It's baby boomers, Gen X, mostly. So if you're not knocking on the door, then we can never expect it's going to be open.
Absolutely. Right? You need to address.
Yes.
Or you need to say it at least.
Yes.
There's some times that you are sitting there and work demands that you have to sit in late. But it can't be an everyday practice, right?
That's the thing.
And people like you who are now, because you are now getting into those positions where you will have bigger teams, you will be giving those orientations to the MTs, to the management trainees, where I think if you're connected to yourself and you believe in this, I think every manager, HRBP, team lead should be advocating for it.
Correct. So there is a part on the part of the corporate. I think there's a very important, essential thing to do, which is to kind of train your line managers accordingly.
Yeah.
If you are selling something, first make a conducive environment, right? We were talking about it.
Yes.
So it can't happen that you are advocating that, work-life balance is pretty much on the cards.
Yeah.
And then a line manager is kind of stopping people from applying for leaves, for leaving office
Yes.
on time, and availing remote.
You're telling, they're sending these people on trainings, but they have to have their laptops opened. They have to be connected to to their mobiles. They have to address all those firefighting situations. So if we are not going to be advocates, all right, leave the person alone. Life doesn't end if the person is off for a certain time or for a day or for a couple of hours. Nothing ends.
Not going to shatter. Nothing is going to stop.
So we should be people like you sitting in the grid, and people inshallah going furthermore, getting better, higher positions. Your message to people of your fraternity, one message if you can leave us with.
So I would just say that kind of understand where the issue is coming from.
Yeah.
We tend to kind of solve it without understanding the core reasons and issues. And the other side is just calculate the impact. On the if you're so
that is so awesome.
Just see the impact. If you see the maximum impact is going to come when your worker is productive, optimizing everything.
Yes.
You cannot expect that to happen if you are going to compromise on work-life balance, remote working, flexibility, so on and so forth. If you're not going to pay attention to the emotional state of your employee. Why has this employee stopped performing or is creating or is ending up with doing
slacking or
errors, what's happening? Try to understand that. And once you understand that, you will get the maximum productivity out of your.
Absolutely. It's about, just I love that tagline, humanizing businesses.
True.
That's what I live by. That's what I coach. That's what I train on. To humanize businesses, that one shift that everybody needs to, instead of being in that rut, be a little in touch with your human side as well, and see why is that person not performing like he used to. It's a little bit of reflection on you and what's going out. But thank you so much. I will be inviting you again for another topic, for another session as well. And thank you for taking out the time. And it was lovely seeing you, and please stay connected. So thank you everyone who was watching this. There's a very insightful message from Farhan Bashir, how we can incorporate these strategies to make work-life balance actually applicable to all. We will be coming back with more hot topics, one question from the professionals of the industry. Thank you so much.